Heaven is up there, they say. Pearly gates and pearly clouds, they say. They don't know much about astronomy, I say. The science of light, on high, of all that is far off, lonely, and stuck in the deepest dark of space. Dark, but for billions and billions of exceptions. And I insist on the exceptional. Ow, what are you doing?
You know church is about to start. You know this, and you're avoiding it, and you've been caught.
I haven't been caught. I've been attacked.
With love.
With pinches. What kind of world is this?
You're not wearing your hearing aid. You're fair game. Church, now.
I can't right now.
Oh, yes, you can. We're waiting. I'm freezing. Come in.
Margie, I'm sorry. I cannot sit still right now.
The only thing you need to do in church is sit still. Now, tell me what's going on, or come inside.
I've been trying all week, but you're busy and you're barking. And
I do not bark. I'm busy running the house, and Father's busy running the church. And you, what are you doing? Staying up all night in the cold, like a moth?
What's gotten into you this morning, Miss Jumpy?
I'm not jumpy.
I'm not a moth.
Why are we still outside?
Because they have a job for me at Harvard, in the observatory, actual astronomy.
Since when were you even looking for a job?
Since they offered. Margie, this is an extraordinary thing. They needed mathematicians and they asked me specifically.
Harvard asked you?
Yes, and please don't hold back your tone of shock.
This is shocking. I'm shocked.
And I'm leaving. I'm taking the job and I'm leaving.
You've always been leaving.
Next week.
Next week? Oh, no, Henrietta. No, we need to sit down and discuss this as a family.
Margie, this could be my best life and it's right in front of me.
I'm still freezing.
Margie, talk to me.
Fine. I know we were never going to grow old next to each other kind of sisters, and the way you drive me crazy makes that for the best. But, Henrietta, this is extreme.
Exactly. Come with me.
Oh, Henry, please.
Yes, both of us. Come on.
What are you talking about? That is absurd.
Only a little. You're the only one who understands me. And you're always up for an adventure. And I do want to get old and scrappy with you.
I did not say scrappy.
You should come with me and fire up your heart.
What are you talking about?
The edge of the wide world.
It's Boston.
A blaze of learning.
A blaze?
A blaze. And Radcliffe is nearby, and they have a music school.
Henry, slow down.
You don't have to stay here. You can be happy. You can loose yourself.
No, stop. Wait. Do not start wearing bloomers.
Margie.
I mean it, Henrietta. There are women these days, and they wear pants, and it's ridiculous. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go play hymns for the service that started 10 minutes ago. And thank you, sister. My fingers are numb.
I need you to convince Daddy to give me my dowry. I'm serious. Very. Please talk to him.
Why do I get all the yelling jobs?
Because you're so good at it.
Henrietta, this is your future. Are you certain you'll never fall in love or get married? People do that, you know, uncoordinated, unplanned emotions. Just the word spinster. Ugh, Henrietta, please.
I need to start my life with Daddy's money.
Next, the bloomers, whiskey with suffragettes.
I'm not a cowboy.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about astronomy. You keep talking about terrible pants.
It all starts with pants. It's a changing world, and some things should be sacred. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go, but I worry. It's far away, that place, and it's crowded. And I have you right here in my sight, and I worry.
I'll be doing math. Don't worry.
Why not stay here and live with us and teach?
No.
Like every other girl with your temperament.
I like my temperament. And I don't want it stuffed into some schoolhouse. I have questions, fundamental problems with the state of human knowledge. Who are we? Why are we? Where are we?
Wisconsin.
In the universe.
Still Wisconsin.
I'm not just curious, Margie. I'm charged and I'm poised. And you know, I will only get more and more annoying until I go. You know this. You know this.
One day there will be a word for you. Just for me and for our Father, who only after much snorting will approve of this. When you go, take a Bible.
I'm sure Harvard has those.
You know what I mean. We both look in the same direction for answers, but our understanding is distinct.
I love you. It is too cold for God.
That's why we keep him inside.
Margie, come with me.
I can't.
Why not?
Because Father counts on me, and if you leave, I can't leave, and I don't want to leave. And Samuel proposed.
What?
To Mary.
Who?
Henry.
When? I meant when.
This morning, thank you for noticing.
Ha ha ha, jumpy.
Yes, Henrietta, other people's lives are also in progress.
Is he?
He's inside, looking very attentive until the service ends, and I answer him.
So, what's your answer?
Well, of course I will.
To Samuel?
Well, I wanted to talk with you first.
You'd leave me for Samuel?
You just said you were leaving me.
Yeah, but not for Samuel.
He's very good.
Yes, yes he is.
He is, and I'm happy.
Then I'm happy too. Come with me.
Just come back.
And so I go.
For the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our gift of grateful praise.
Thank you. Excuse me, is this the observatory office?
Yes. Oh, you must be my 10 o'clock. Miss Levitt. You are Miss Levitt.
I am Henrietta Levitt, and I am just thrilled
Good.
to...
We'll make this quick. It's really not that complicated.
May I just say how pleased I am to meet you, Dr. Pickering.
No,
I'm not?
I'm not.
You're not Dr. Pickering?
I am.
You are Dr. Pickering.
So sorry. My name is Peter Shaw. I work for Pickering.
Oh, Mr. Shaw, lovely to meet you. Colleagues, then.
Oh my God, you were serious. No, you see, you work for me, and I work for Pickering. So you see...
So, still colleagues, it would seem.
Technically,
And
yes.
here
but
I thought Harvard was such a technical place.
No. Well, I mean, of course it is. It's just... Well, you see, I'm Dr. Pickering's assistant, junior fellow, astronomical research, summa cum laude, mathematics and physics.
Oh, and if you spot me, I'll swoon.
What?
Technical term. Now, Mr. Shaw, I've traveled a long way, and I'm quite anxious to get started, so may I? Get started?
Well-
Or just point me to the telescope and I'll be fine.
The telescope?
Is that it?
Well,
The
yes.
great refractor? It's one of the largest in the world.
I'm quite aware, quite a source of pride for us, actually, but this is the girls' area for you to work. In here.
A short orientation, then.
We send the girls' department photographic plates from the telescope. Latest technology.
Yes, good. Question, why all women?
Oh, this is great. Well, Pickering got tired of the boys he was sent and actually said this, that his housekeeper could do better. So he hired her, and she did better. So now it's quite the women's world up here.
I was expecting the usual world.
Oh, I make my customary rounds, of course.
Rounds?
I come around.
To what end?
Well, evaluation, of course.
Mr. Shaw, I also graduated summa cum laude from Radcliffe,
No.
which is basically Harvard in skirts. And lucky for me, the universe doesn't much care what you wear. So, your expertise and mine might actually complement each other if we could get past this encroachingly unpleasant first impression. Or I could just take this out and you could just keep orienting.
You'll fit right in with the harem.
The what?
Oh, Pickering's harem. It's a joke. A compliment, really.
If you're a concubine?
No, he picks the best is what we mean. Pickering's best. Pickering's picks. That's got a ring. You don't.
I was told I was meeting with Dr. Pickering at 10.
Yes, and he sends his warmest regards through me. More important, more pressing matters to attend to. I'm happy to show you around.
I'll come back.
There's really no need for that.
I'd prefer to meet directly with the
Miss
head of the
Levitt.
Mr. Shaw, I don't mean to be brisk. Well, perhaps a little, if it would drive home the point that I'm finally here after a long time of not being anywhere. And so far, all you have managed to convey is that I'm in some sort of math harem, waiting to be picked. And that doesn't sound right at all.
I am so sorry. Pickering is actually thrilled to have you here, and I would get in a lot of trouble if I ran you off on your first day. So please, stay. We really would like you to stay.
You don't sound very excited about all this work.
Well, it is work.
It's not your, how best to make you uncomfortable, passion.
That's a bit extreme for physics.
Is it? I find the very notion of this work to be a thrill, a bracing excitement, and it's just something that you do?
I enjoy the work, of course. It's reasoned and it's sound. My father pulled a lot of strings, actually, to get... Why do you say passion?
Unlike for some people, following this curiosity was not easy for me. I had to insist, which takes a dedicated desire, unmatched by reason, which we call passion. You should try it.
I sing. Gilbert and Sullivan. I wanted to be an actor, but my father thought better of it. But I still sing on occasion with enthusiasm. Does that count?
Technically.
One of the plates you'll be working with, a slice of heaven.
Beautiful. I should take one to my father.
Excuse me.
He's a pastor.
Those never leave the premises.
You said heaven. I was joking.
Harvard property.
Of course.
Very expensive.
And if you don't mention the attempted larceny, I won't mention the musicals.
You're very curious.
In every way.
Oh, that's them. Be aware of Miss Fleming, Scottish stock, swift and angry.
Oh, my.
And Miss Cannon, don't want to cross her. Her name's Dickensian.
Oh, but I'd like to ask about the,
What else to tell you? Delicacy with the plates, they crack. Penmanship, key.
Mr. Shaw,
25 cents an hour.
but I'd like to ask about the,
Well, it's good pay for women's work.
It's volunteering.
What are you asking, Miss Levitt?
That I might more fully engage in the ideas around here.
Other than doing the work you're being paid to do?
Other than, pardon me, do your math. Now, when may I use the telescope?
Well, you can't.
I'll take over, Mr. Shaw.
Yes, very good. I was just debriefing her.
Then I'd be brief.
Very good. Good day, ladies. I'll be seeing you around.
Welcome, Miss Levitt.
Thank you. I was so excited to be here, I fear I might have scared him.
Easy to do. Wilhelmina Fleming, I like you.
Thank you.
Annie Cannon, I haven't decided.
Oh, Miss Cannon, I know I shouldn't have gone on like that with him.
No, you shouldn't.
And I'm sorry if I made a poor impression.
Harvard Observatory is the pinnacle of the astronomical community. The academic world looks to us.
To bookkeep the stars if you talk to Mr. Shaw.
Which is why we try not to talk to Mr. Shaw. We are mapping the sky, Miss Levitt. If doing what has never been done before sounds unimportant to you, uninspired, I'd leave before I were asked to. Otherwise, show some respect.
Oh, of course, and I would...
Respect is a quiet thing, Miss Levitt. Practice this.
Yes, Miss Cannon.
Practice now.
Let me show you what we do here. This is the latest technology, a photograph of the stars. And we chart every wee point of light on every one.
Every single one.
Every scattered sneeze of them.
Will, don't be crude.
They look like ground pepper till you get the hang of it.
Wilhelmina is our best photometer, from whom you'll learn much. If she doesn't get herself fired.
I used to be her boss.
You still are. We share leadership of this department.
She outdid me with those letters.
I did no such thing.
The star classifications were all her idea.
A collective effort, I assure you.
Star classifications? That's your work?
Oh, yes, indeed. The sky was a riot until Miss Cannon coded it. I wanted to give each star a number based on color, but she insisted on labeling each star with a letter based on temperature.
Ladies.
O-B-A-F-G-K-M.
Yes!
You created a standard, Miss Cannon. My goodness, I am so honored. You're going to laugh, but my professors made us memorize your letters using this ridiculous phrase.
She also made up this ridiculous phrase.
But I didn't mean for it to find its way into textbooks.
Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me. You did that too?
She had a muse.
Miss Fleming!
She thought it'd be best for the boys. That's all they think about anyway.
Let's get back to work, please.
Because she's the boss.
I wouldn't have to be if you would take this seriously, which is a ridiculous request of a woman who started the department. You know, Will was the first woman to ever hold the title curator in astronomy, and the Draper catalog is all her work. She's discovered stars, nebulae, novae. She's the reason that I'm here, and even if she has far too much fun, I am the first to admit she is fundamental to this institution.
And that, new friend, is how you introduce yourself without boasting.
I quit.
Oh, be a fine grandma.
It's a great phrase.
We have work to do, and Dr. Pickering is a very particular man.
He calls us his harem.
He's joking.
He's not. He measures a project in girl hours.
He's joking.
He's not. Sometimes in kilo girl hours.
The point is, we're busy because we're essential.
We're the dirt from which mighty oaks grow.
And do we have a title of some sort?
Oh, yes, indeed. Congratulations, Miss Levitt. You are now a computer.
What's a computer?
One who computes.
Notate the plates, transfer the data, input the data, process, record, repeat, next star.
And the plates, how do I read them?
Star spanking.
Align the spanker with the star. The matching dot indicates how bright that star is. Record magnitude, position, date, and repeat until you fill up the logbook.
Or go slightly crazy.
And what about our own ideas? Using the telescope for our own work.
You don't.
Oh, but I thought that...
We collect, report, and maintain the largest stellar archive in the world, and we resist the temptation to analyze it.
But you just said how much you've discovered here. Both of you.
Resisting doesn't always work.
Can you do this job, Miss Levitt?
Of course I can.
I need the consistent, not the creative.
She can do it, Annie. She understands.
Good. Then please show Miss Levitt to her station.
Will do, Mr. President.
You make me crazy, and you know you make me crazy!
Balance of power, darling.
Oh!
All right, you. More questions?
Is she mean or just to me?
Oh, no. She's just meticulous and blunt. And she sings.
Sings what?
Like a crow. But it shows her humanity, atonal though it may be. And you want her on your side. She's always on the right one.
Well, good. Because I have some pressing issues with Science.
The whole of it.
A lot of it. As far as I can tell, we don't seem to know where we are astronomically, which is just shocking. This is the modern age. We've been looking up for millennia, and we still don't know how far away those stars are. We don't know if the Milky Way is the universe, and that is just unacceptable.
You're fun. But here's some perspective. I was Dr. Pickering's housekeeper before he brought me here, so we are many things. But at present, we are cleaning up the universe for the men and laughing at them behind their backs. It's worked for centuries.
Working isn't talking. Here we like to say, the sky's the limit.
And there's so damn much of it.
And so we work. Star name.
Star name,
Star name,
Alpha Leonis 3982.
Beta Orionis 1713.
magnitude 1.2,
Magnitude 0.65.
50 degrees.
spectral class B,
Spectral class B.
magnitude 1.25.
Magnitude 0.73.
Star name,
Henrietta, we miss you,
star name,
and I can't stand the conversation since you left.
Alpha Andromedy 15.
Everyone is so sensible.
80 degrees declination.
Please write back.
33 degrees right ascension.
Morning, ladies.
Correct on both accounts, Mr. Shaw.
Good morning, Mr. Shaw. Back again.
And so soon.
Oh, just passing through, dropping things off, picking things up.
Spectral class A,
Hello, Miss Levitt.
magnitude 2.0. Hello, Mr. Shaw. How are you today?
Good. Bye.
He's an odd one.
And getting odder.
Star name.
Star name,
Star name,
Henry, wish you'd be here for Thanksgiving. Father's planning a marvelous sermon on family.
magnitude 2.8.
You missed the news.
Star name,
I'm pregnant.
oh, Margie, oh my goodness.
I think Daddy's even happier than I am. And think of it, you're going to be an aunt.
I'm going to be an aunt. And you a mother? Oh, congratulations, Margie. That's such... Oh, star name, Alpha Cygnus.
Hello, hello. Here I come. Coming around.
a lot nowadays.
What's going on?
Oh, just making sure that she's, but everyone's oriented.
It's been half a year now. I think she knows where the bathroom is.
Am I doing something wrong, Mr. Shaw?
No, of course not. I'm just, curious
Aha.
about the data.
Oh, yes. He's dreaming about the data.
We're a bit busy today, Mr. Shaw. Unless you have a message for the room.
Yes, actually. Dr. Pickering and I were hoping to get Miss Levitt's input on a rather curious matter, if I may steal her a minute.
You may borrow Miss Levitt, not steal her.
Just an expression.
Was it?
I'm so glad Dr. Pickering values my opinion. I didn't know he even noticed me at all.
He did, and does. Well, anyway, we were wondering if you could make sense of this phenomenon here. I didn't see anything like it in the other plates, and I saw it and thought of you. That you could offer some clarity.
That, Mr. Shaw, is definitely a scratch.
Is it?
I'm guessing a pocket watch or maybe somebody's belt buckle.
A scratch.
We could name it after you if you like.
No need. Glad that's settled. Very good. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for asking, Mr. Shaw. We're always here if you need us.
Henrietta,
32 degrees.
will we see you for Easter?
Magnitude 2.6.
Daddy's asking for you,
Spectral Class B,
and I'd love to have you home.
45,
Henrietta, it's...
magnitude.
Henrietta!
What? Yes, what?
I have a son.
Oh, Margie,
His name is Michael.
you have a son.
You should meet him.
I should. I will. How did this happen already?
It's April.
Is it? It is. Oh my.
Henrietta, let me tell you, babies are remarkable.
I'm sure they are. And I'm sorry, I'm so busy.
Too busy for me?
Too busy for me at the moment.
Can't you come home?
There are a lot of stars out there.
But you'd be so proud. I found my calling.
Uh-huh.
I will compose.
Oh, music. How nice.
When the baby's down and everything's clean, it's just me and the piano.
That's great.
It's not a hobby.
I have to work.
It's very exciting.
It is. And I'm sorry, but I can't come home. And I know I'm letting you down, but I've got this work and you've got yours. And I just can't play house with you right now.
I don't like this mood.
I promise I'll come home.
But you won't. You're hardening in some urban office and it's making you flinty.
Margie, stop.
I know there's more to life than this.
Then nature?
Than math. There's more to life out there.
Then why do you stay so close to home? Why do you excel at every ordinary thing and then chastise me about what's out there? I specialize in what's out there. And let me tell you, out there doesn't happen on a farm.
Check the post. Father sent a book.
Oh no, a Bible.
If it were a Bible, I would have said Bible. It's a book.
On what?
Miss Levitt.
I don't know,
Miss
Henrietta.
Levitt.
I've got this life and you've got yours.
Round and round we go.
Mr. Shaw,
Ladies of the logbook.
by God, there'd better be a supernova on those plates.
You know he's here for you.
What?
Nothing quite that interesting. I was just hoping to speak with Miss Levitt.
Mr. Shaw?
Well, it's just the work you're all doing. I find it bracing.
And I find it hard to work with such interruptions, if you don't mind.
Of course. I can come back later
No!
on my rounds.
Mr. Shaw, there is an inverse relationship between the time lost on your rounds and the life of my overqualified staff, any one of whom you may speak to after work. So come in or stay out, but you must have reason to be here or cease coming around.
See you tomorrow.
Sweet boy, I'm going to shoot him.
I don't know. You never found us bracing before.
Oh, can we talk about anything else, please? Miss Cannon, help.
Oh, sure. As long as you admit he fancies you.
I don't care. I barely know him. We work, he comes around.
Like a hungry cat.
Oh, who's the cat? Am I the cat?
You're not the cat.
Oh, I better not be. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
He'd be happy to help you with that.
Work, ladies.
The point is, I couldn't. Or why don't you marry him? You like him so much.
He's not my type.
Whomever's type he is. I couldn't work if I were married. And that is just not an option. So my husband would have to be quite the advanced creature to put up with that. And I'm not sure our Mr. Shaw fits the bill.
Agreed.
Although I do admire his persistence and his gait. He's got a nice gait.
Meow. Purr, purr.
Would you heal?
The point is, like you, my work is my life, and that is just fine with me. And excuse me for saying this, Miss Cannon, but these Mr. Shaws, they all come around. They need this work. They need you. Why don't you demand a faculty position?
Because I don't need a title to do the work.
But the boys need your work to keep their titles. And eventually, one of us has to be what was it called?
A mighty
A
oak.
mighty oak. You deserve it.
Neither of you are getting a raise, and that is final.
I don't want a raise.
I do.
I want a model. Miss Cannon, if they don't give you what you deserve, they're never going to give it to any of us.
What do you want them to give you?
A chance to show them what we can do.
Which means what?
I'm seeing things.
Which means what?
I'm spotting more and more of the blinking stars, the variables. I'm studying the small Magellanic clouds, and I'm tracking these stars that pulse.
Cepheid stars.
I think so. Some pulse once a week, some take a month.
The fact that Cepheids pulse is not new.
I know. It's the amount, the large amount I'm finding.
Actually, they're quite rare to find.
Not if you're doing it right.
Continue.
I put together a simple comparative that lets me analyze the plates quickly. The same star field at different times, and you can see some of the stars are much brighter. Now, if these are true Cepheids, and if there are as many of them as I'm starting to find, it could be a big clue.
To what?
I don't know, but it's got to be important.
No, it doesn't.
But my instincts are telling me...
Dr. Pickering does not pay for those instincts.
He doesn't really even pay me at all.
Then do the work you're assigned or don't work.
Oops.
You may, however, stay after hours if you'd like, Miss Levitt.
What?
If you're quiet.
Really? Really?
Only rule was quiet.
Yes, understood. Thank you.
Daddy was wondering if you received the book or if you'll be home for Christmas. Right back.
Dear Margie, I'm sorry we fought. Here's a book for Michael from his favorite aunt. Could you send more sweaters? Love, H.
For the joy of human love, brother, sister, parent, child, friends on earth and friends above, for all gentle thoughts and mild, Lord of all, to thee we raise this our gift of grateful praise.
Oh my, is she?
Dusting! Aren't you, Miss Levitt?
What? Yes, sorry, up.
Are you ill?
No, just here. Hello.
Is she under an influence?
Now that would be
Ridiculous.
delightful, but no.
And you slept here?
No. Very little sleeping. You know the blinking stars, the pulsating ones?
The Cepheids?
There's a shocking amount in the Magellanic clouds. I've become quite intimate with the Magellanic clouds.
I'll let the boys know. We'll add a few to their register.
200.
200?
100.
Last
Night, yes. So, why don't I make a habit of this?
Why don't you?
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Why don't you?
Oh, it's very good work, Miss Levitt. It's really very good.
Thank you.
Where on earth is she going?
To take a nap in the file room, and we'll let her.
She has an apartment?
Yes, but you'll want to hear what she's been finding. And I'm not going to wake her up.
There is a lot going on in the world.
Aha!
We are in an age of defiance. I mean, defying and upturning everything we thought we knew. Fundamentals even. Distance, light, time.
You read that paper, didn't you?
You've read it.
Relativity.
Relativity. It's impossible. Except it isn't. Time is elastic. Space is part of time. Impossible.
Doesn't make it wrong, though, does it?
No, the idea that there could be galaxies as big as ours, outside of ours? No!
The theory seems to suggest it.
But that makes it all untethered, all undone. In the history of human thought, there's been a steady progression of ideas.
Unless you're Catholic.
Standing on the shoulders of giants, I mean.
I don't know. There's a lot of stupid giants out there.
But we're modern. The modern age, building on top of other stately ideas.
Sensible.
Yes!
Physics was about wrapped up.
Yes!
And then that fuzzy-headed man went and blew up your stately foundation.
You're not supposed to do that to Isaac Newton!
No!
So what do we grasp? And for how long until it's all changed again?
I'm not sure what you're looking to hear, Mr. Shaw.
She found something, is finding, uncovering, discovering, and I don't know what that's like. Which makes me think maybe I'm not very good at this, and the whole thing is just too strange.
You don't usually talk this much when you come up here.
I don't? I do. My rounds, I come around.
Oh, yes. The life-affirming rounds.
I'm just doing my job. I'm trying to.
And you know why she's got something? Because she's not just doing hers. Because she knows she only has the corner of someone else's chance. Because we can't apparently use that hyper-sex telescope that you boys get to. But the mind is sexless. And so is the sky. Are you made nervous by how many times I've used the word sex?
Somewhat.
Oh, good.
Just, I appreciate what you all do here. It's precision.
Thank you.
What was that?
Wonder meeting competence.
You see why we keep him around.
Is it wrong that I like him a wee bit more because of that? Because I quite enjoyed that bit of fluster. Speaking of, has he proposed yet?
Will and me.
What? No. To me, no.
Always seems like he's about to.
That face he makes.
Pinchy.
Pinchy? Who's Pinchy? We talked about this. Mary? You're not married. You're not married. Nobody's married. Why is this an issue?
It's not an issue.
Oh, it's not unless you prove me right. Get married and live happily ever after.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm not laughing at you. It's just love makes us all look a bit stupid.
Pinchy.
Is Pinchy good or bad?
Oh, it's all terribly relative.
Oh, Henrietta, it's just life. Miraculous and ridiculous, and often not funny at all, but better when you're laughing, especially husbands.
She had one.
You did?
Yes, I did. Abandoned me as soon as we docked in Boston. There I was, 21, pregnant, poor, and Scottish. So I laughed, found my way to Dr. Pickering's, worked his house as a maid until he brought me here. And here I sit. So I laugh because that seemed to work. Time to breathe.
sorry.
I take it out when I work.
Of course. Carry on. Forgot my gloves.
No. I was just leaving.
No, I'm leaving. I just came for my hat.
Your gloves?
My gloves.
Please don't think I just sit here all night crying.
May I see what you sit here doing all night?
The Cepheids, of course.
You certainly have a knack for finding them.
But I'm finding that finding them isn't worth much if they don't mean anything. And right now, they don't.
They might.
I'm going on 2,000 of them. And I'm starting to think it's like counting grass. You could do it, but why?
I do know the feeling. Show me what you found.
The left column is a list of Cepheids arranged by fastest period of brightness. And the middle column is spectral class. But I think I need to change it to luminosity because I'm not coming up with anything. There's no pattern.
No, there's not.
I've wasted so much time on this.
Miss Levitt.
I really thought that I could sense something, really feel there was something in the numbers that we weren't connecting, but no.
Miss Levitt.
12 notebooks, all packed, staring at me. Loose ends, all loose, and no meaning, and nothing to show, and nothing makes any damn sense.
Henrietta.
Excuse my language.
You're close. Keep working. Think about how you're thinking. It's in there.
Should I ask Dr. Pickering?
No.
Mr. Shaw?
Oh, no. This one's yours.
Thank you.
Miss Levitt, I think you're in the middle of it.
Of what?
That chance.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, not to worry.
This is just.
Imposition. So sorry.
This is
My fault completely.
so exciting. She's right. I pushed through it, charged through it, matter of time. I know the answer's in there, so I just keep going, right? Yes. Hi.
Hi. I just came by for my hat. My gloves.
Oh,
And I saw your light, and I said, I wonder how all the spanking's going.
might we all come up with another name for that?
I think that's best.
Mr. Shaw, I know I shouldn't be here this late.
Well, actually, I would much prefer it if you could call me by my given name. Peter would be nicer. Nice.
Henrietta?
Oh, good. Found him. Miss Henrietta, it just occurred to me, I don't really know anything about you, which is a shame. So, might I know something about you? Now would be nice.
I grew up in Lancaster, family in Wisconsin. My hearing is not great. I use my dowry to get here, which is why I'm a bit zealous about all this. And I play the clarinet, not well.
I also play. Also, not very well.
Well, we could be terrible together. That's not what I mean. I have a habit of blurting.
And I have a dachshund named Carl. Carl awaits. Sorry, hat. I think you could be quite marvelous. I think that often.
Oh, that is not standard.
There's an ocean liner that leaves tomorrow. You should be on it. I'm saying I'll be on it. You should come with me to Europe for a month or two. You don't have to decide right now, although you should decide soon because it leaves tomorrow. I just said that. Pack warm. We might be stopping in Spain, and there'll be lobster and dancing and bobbing around in the moonlight, which is romantic or nauseating. But there'll be an eclipse, which is fun.
Oh my, I mean, that sounds very, very interesting.
Interesting.
Incredible.
Oh.
If it weren't on a boat.
You don't like boats?
No, it's
Didn't
not
think of
that. It's just, it's my work. I'm really close to finding something, and
Well, can't the ladies manage?
not this work. It's my findings, and I've worked so hard.
Take it with us. Just you and me and work. Yay!
But they crack.
Well, they'll be here when you get back.
I'm too close to leave. I am so close.
Henrietta,
Peter,
this is a rather large moment for me, so let me be clear, because it's taken me 3 years to get this far. Your mind and spirit, I quite adore those things about you, and I don't expect you to reciprocate right away or even at all, but I felt like I'd combust if I didn't tell you. You've been the brightest object in my life since we've met, and we work with stars. Now, I know I haven't been the most emotive suitor, but I have been a thoughtful one, and I hope that counts for something, and I hope I don't offend you if I tell you how much I admire you.
well, I think it is an accurate statement to say I approve.
You do? Oh, that's tremendous. I thought I might have ruined it with my first impression. Or my second one. Or this one.
Fortune favors the unashamed. But I must tell you, my work is very important to me. So if there's any resistance to that, any at all, you might reconsider your adoration promptly.
I couldn't reconsider if I tried. I know you and I know your work. And if you can't come with me, then I'll stay. Because I can't walk away from all this.
What is this exactly?
Well, it's love. Isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
Well, it's gotta be. My heart's beating like a train. That's your fault.
My fault? It's your fault?
Yes, see? Love.
But how? Oh God, like, how do you know?
Comparative analysis. Before you, content. After you, passionate, competent, idiot. Rounds, please. And an ocean liner just to be with you in the widest world. And finally, I tell you. And finally, you hear. And finally...
Sister, stop. Come home. Stop. Father, stroke. Stop.
Oh my God, Peter, I am so sorry. I have to go.
Go? Where? What's going on?
My family needs me. My father, oh God.
I can come with you. I can help. Whatever you need.
My father is sick. My sister is alone.
I'm coming.
No, you don't have to do that.
Well, I want to help. I can help.
Thank you, but I'm sorry. I have to go home, and you have to go to dinner in Europe.
No.
Go, Peter.
No.
I don't want you to miss this because of me. So go and write me and come back.
All right.
We go, then we come back, and then we...
Continue the experiment of our mutual compatibility.
And weather the storm of Wilhelmina's laughter at our expense.
I imagine it'll be thunderous.
I'm certain of it.
All right. So you go and I go.
It's just space,
And time.
which leaves us
Afar, but not apart.
afar, but not apart. I like that. Hello? Margie, I'm here.
Henry, come in. Hello, everything's a wreck. I'm glad you're here.
How can I help? What can I do?
Everything? Nothing? It's been a mess since last Sunday.
Last Sunday?
I couldn't get a hold of you.
I would have come sooner. I didn't know. What happened?
He just fell over. He couldn't talk. He couldn't move.
Is there anything that
I don't even know where to start. He can't do anything for himself. I'm at my wit's end.
Where's Sam?
Trying to organize for Sunday. When the town preacher can't preach, and with Sam hurt, his leg, he fell, and it's just all so much. It'll be fine. I'll play, so at least it'll sound good.
They couldn't find someone else to play on
I can
Sunday?
play.
I'm just so sorry that you had to do this all on your own.
Well, there it is. What's this?
You know what? It's work, a little.
You don't think now might be a good time to put the work down?
This is important.
And this isn't?
No, yes, I'm here. I am right here.
I just wonder why you exceed expectations in everything except this family. Even so, Daddy is so proud. You would think he isn't. You would think he resents your great escape. And because you never wrote or came home all those years, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know that I made you up for him. I wrote letters for you, from you. I brought them in the house every week. So happy, thrilled. Look what Henrietta sent. Oh, Daddy, she says hello. She says thank you. She says she loves you. On and on. Such a comforting fiction.
You didn't have to do that.
I did, so that you would have a home to come back to.
Margie, please.
I am so busy. He'll need to be fed, and the doctor's coming in an hour, and I'm pretty certain you're not going to be sticking around, so I'm not going to get comfortable.
Margie, please stop.
Please help me.
I am not going. For as long as you need, I will not leave.
But your work.
It's portable, so they can send more, and I can stay here. I want to. Margie, I do. I do.
It's just been so much. It's been too much.
I see that, and I am so sorry.
He was fine, and then he wasn't. Everything changes. Why does everything change?
Not changes, just changes form.
What?
There's a new theory by a German physicist.
Oh.
Wait, he says that mass and energy are just different forms of the same thing, and they shift back and forth forever. So nothing's ever gone, it just shifts. Why don't you practice for Sunday? I'll go find Sam and see if I can help. Dear Dr. Pickering, Miss Fleming, Miss Cannon, due to family needs, I must remain here. Send more sky. Dear Peter, I imagine you out on the sea, night brilliant with stars. Instead, I spend my nights much as I did as a child, alone in the yard, looking up, dreaming of a better life. Yours, Henrietta.
Dear Henrietta, landed in England. Eclipse was stunning. You are everywhere, afar but not apart. Peter.
Peter, it's hard not to feel like I've gone backwards, but it's good that I'm here. Father is not improving, and Margie is so glad to have me, but I do miss everything. Henrietta.
Henrietta. Met the most brilliant men at Oxford. Everyone discussing relativity. Paris was great. Zurich was cold. How are things at Harvard?
Peter. I haven't yet returned, but once I help Margie, I intend to make my way back to my perfectly creaky desk and your rounds. Henrietta.
Henrietta, I just arrived in Cambridge and I have so much to tell you. When will you return? Peter.
Peter, I promise I'm coming as soon as I can.
But when will that be? We need you here.
Please send more plates.
I don't care about the plates. Where are you?
The same place. Afar, but not apart. Peter? Father's funeral was brief, but full of friends, which was good for the family It's been so long since I've heard from you. I fear your letters have gotten lost. Or you have. Henrietta.
Miss Levitt, I am very sorry to hear of your father's passing. Harvard is very busy. Dr. Pickering is sending more plates for analysis if you can manage.
Of course I can manage. And I'm coming back soon.
Of course you are. I just wish.
For the wonder of each hour of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars alight. You know, I think it's time we built you a study for all of these boxes,
Sorry.
or a ranch.
I know it's a lot. I can move them. They keep sending more and more, which is a good thing. I need to work. I want to work.
And now that things have calmed down a bit, I think you should think about going back. Don't look so excited. I'm not being nice. I just can't stand the sight of all of these boxes around my house. And Father would want you to go back.
Why are you so good to me?
Because I'm a saint and you're easy to pity.
I can accept that. Can I take your son with me? He knows 3 whole constellations.
Oh, yes. Boys in glassware is a great idea. It amazes me that the entire sky fits on one of these window panes and how shockingly full it all is. Doesn't look that full from the backyard. Each one is just bursting with stars.
And nebulae. There and there.
My goodness. It's a whole other world up there.
Or worlds. You know, they call me a fiend.
Who calls you a fiend?
A star-finding fiend. The most prominent astronomer at Princeton said that about me.
You're important to them?
I am, actually.
And they're not taking advantage of you?
Oh, they surely are. But it's a compliment.
A love letter's a compliment.
We talked about this.
Sitting at Harvard all day and you can't find a gentleman?
My department is all women.
So get out.
It's complicated.
Well, it wouldn't be romance without it, is it?
What?
Romance.
No, not yet.
And who is this not yet?
What about your music?
What about your secret fancy?
Margie, it's nothing. It's a boring story with a boring ending.
Why?
Because it ended, or didn't really start. It's unclear.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it was never in my plan anyway.
Well, maybe it's your plan that was boring.
Just play something, will you?
You can't distract me with my own music.
It's not a distraction, it's a celebration.
That you're leaving me? Again?
I've been hearing bits and pieces for months now. I want to hear the whole of it before I go.
Well, there is something. It's tiny. Just a sketch.
A hymn?
A concerto.
Really?
I'm writing a symphony.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I thought to write a whole symphony you had to be
Male.
European and angry.
Upsetting tradition might just run in the family. What's wrong?
It's keep going. Please play.
What?
Play.
Look, Henrietta's written another letter.
That's not a letter. That's a book.
It's the whole thing. It's like music.
My music?
The stars are music.
My music?
The pattern, the numbers, when you put them in the right order, oh my God, the blinking is music. It's so simple, it's right there.
What's right there?
She's found a pattern in the Cepheids.
Look at that. The pulsing isn't random.
The pulsing isn't random. There is a pattern. The brightest stars take the longest to blink.
It's so simple.
I love it when it's simple.
I don't understand. How does a pattern help?
A pattern is a standard. And if we have a standard, we can compare stars all over the sky. Right now, if we see two stars of equal brightness, we don't know which is the brighter star and which is the closer star. But the pulsing can help us tell which is which. The pulsing is the answer.
And somehow musical?
Yes. If you think of a note as the star's brightness, if this is the dimmest a star gets, and this is the brightest, then the time it takes to get from here to there could tell us how bright the star actually is, which we could compare to how it appears, which could tell us how far away it is. And if we know that, we can compare it to the other stars and find out how far away they are. And with that, we can skip star to star across the deepest space until we know what? Exactly where we are.
Gorgeous evening, Miss Levitt.
It really is, isn't it?
Checking on the children.
Tucked in, but wide awake.
Tell me more.
Are you tempting me with astronomy?
It is my greatest asset.
Well, then you would remember from school that...
Your cheek, your neck.
Pay attention, young man. Stars are classified by their heat.
Your eyes. My God.
And, given one of the letters, OBAFGKM...
And how will I ever remember? What if there were some useful phrase, perhaps one with an irresistible directive?
Oh, be a fine girl.
Now I remember.
Let's stay here forever.
Adrift?
Afloat.
In the sea?
In the sky. Always the sky.
Always.
Yes.
Always. The sky.
Yes.
The sky. Send more sky. Send more sky. Send more sky. Send more sky.
What?
Send more sky. Send more sky.
Peter?
Send more sky. Send more sky. Send more sky.
Peter?
Oh, Miss Levitt. Hello.
Hello.
You're here.
I am. Very here.
Yes. Well, I was very glad to read about your work, the pattern. It's very good work.
Well, it took long enough to find, but in the end, it's a compliment to all of us.
Kind of you to share credit, but I seem to remember you sitting up all those nights alone.
Usually, yes.
Yes, well, excuse me, we'll need your next batch soon.
Batch.
Those little Cepheids. You're the fiend.
Oh, well, yes, but...
And Pickering will be really glad to have his computer in-house. Excuse me.
Wait.
I really can't talk right now, Miss
Well,
Levitt.
I haven't seen the publication yet, but I was hoping to move past computing to real research.
I'll let you discuss that with Dr. Pickering. Excuse me, I have a class.
Oh, you're teaching. How nice.
Well, it is a university.
Peter,
I really can't, Miss Levitt.
well, I thought that we could.
I can't talk right now.
I know it's been so long,
It has.
but I tried to come back, but there were complications.
Years of complications? I shouldn't do this. Excuse me.
You stopped writing to me.
Yes, well, there were complications.
Yes, in space and time. Yes, I know, but when I saw the truth in those numbers, when I felt what I have always wanted to feel, I thought of you. Because you understand, and I thought that...
You know there should be mandatory exclamation points with this sort of thing. I saw you coming up the walk and about bit my fist. I was so pleased. Oh, Henrietta dear. The period luminosity relation by Miss Henrietta Levitt. Oh, there is a simple relationship between the brightness of the Cepheid stars and their time periods. Published and triumphant you stand, in case those were worry lines. Why don't you tell her it's brilliant?
Oh, it's an achievement, especially now that Pickering and the lot have their hands on
The
it.
lot have nothing to do with it.
I'm simply saying that when others have a chance to apply it, progress indeed.
You wouldn't know progress if it swam up and bit your ear.
Excuse me.
I don't blame you for being jealous.
Oh, I am not jealous.
And I'm not standing right here in front of you.
I'd like to ask Dr. Pickering if I might continue this work now that I'm back. Maybe start a whole project just for the Cepheids.
We've already started one.
You have? But I want to participate.
You're not an astronomer.
Of course I am.
Not without a degree.
Well, then I'll get one.
And who'll do your work, Miss Levitt?
This is my work.
It isn't.
It's my work.
Miss Levitt, you've done a fine job. Let's let that be that.
No, the impact of this could change the nature of
It's just a pattern, Miss Levitt. It's not some revolution. Though we thank you for your contribution.
You are a giant ass!
I am sorry that I raised my voice.
Why don't you get out?
I will not.
Do not press me.
After all that I have put up with from this department. Where is Miss Cannon, anyway? Out? Again?
She's sick of you.
We all know where she is. She's out, making trouble for this institution.
And if you ever made as many contributions as she makes trouble in one day, any one of us would care what you think about any one of us.
I'll go.
Home to your dachshund?
To my wife. That's ruined.
Dr. Pickering is finally getting us some new chairs.
Oh, that's very,
Oh, honey, we are in the business of perspective. And you know it is fundamentally hard to tell whether something is big and bright or just close by.
I don't know what you mean.
And if hearts were stars, we'd all connect the damn dots.
Oh, nothing ever materialized.
Oh, not saying it did, just hearts and stars. They can be blinding.
How do we know if any of this matters? How does anyone know that? I want to know that.
Oh, honey, you can't. And that's why you must never doubt or you'll drown. Now, Annie will be so happy to see you. She's on her way back from a protest now. These are very exciting times. You know, they gave her a sash. And she and that sash are off to change the nation. Speaking of, Annie, look who's back.
Miss Levitt,
Miss Cannon!
here you are. Welcome.
Oh, it's so good to see you!
And you, my dear. The responses to your finding have been numerous.
It was in there. You were right.
Then let's all never doubt me again, shall we?
See? How was the protest? I defended your honor.
It was profound and pointless, as these things tend to be.
And the sash?
Patriot thread. So, you're back for good now, I hope? Can we get you started on something new then? How do you feel about supernovae?
Miss Cannon, I'd much rather continue working with the Cepheids. Follow it through
Through to where?
to some true place.
Put a big red X on it if you find it.
And if we're not finding the greatest truth, then what have we spent our lives doing? What's the point of all this?
The cosmic question of our age.
What's the point?
What is the universe? The question itself admits a singularity of size. We are stuck
We are stuck
on this planet.
in this life, and our perspective is
Our perspective is
intimate,
imperfect.
which means that I might have forgotten
However,
to live.
because we lack the measurements, we are left wondering, how big is everything? Which leads to the central question, is everything contained within our Milky Way galaxy?
Are we contained or not?
Is all that we see
Is all that we
the
see
extent of the universe?
the extent? No, no.
Absolutely. It is my judgment that the universe is exactly the same thing as the Milky Way galaxy. There is nothing greater and nowhere else. To even admit the possibility would mean to consider that these stars are thousands of light years away, and nothing is thousands of light years away. The universe is simply not that vast. Nor need it be to inspire the deepest human wonder. Thank you.
Professor Shaw,
Miss Levitt, you were listening.
how can you say that the universe isn't that vast? How can you say that?
Because the majority of scientists agree.
No, they don't.
The ones that matter do.
The ones that gave you this job do. And I've looked at the literature, and it's where my findings are now quite at home.
Then you would see that there's simply no other way to think.
Then it's a good thing the universe doesn't much care what you think. It just marches on. It doesn't care what Newton or Kepler. It waits for the blind to catch up. That would be you. That would be you.
Miss Levitt.
I'm sorry. I have to go. I always have to go.
Henrietta.
What?
Please. When I got back from Europe, my father decided it was time and that she was a good match. And I barely knew her and I barely knew what was happening. And I don't know why I said all those things to you. Yes, I do. Seeing you's very hard.
Well, I am so sorry this has been so hard for you.
It's not what I meant. Perhaps we could talk?
We can't.
Why?
Because there's a boat that leaves tomorrow for Europe, and I just decided I'll be on it. Because I've heard that seeing the stars from sea is not to be missed, and I don't want to miss anything else. And apparently, there's lobster.
That's good for you, but you should know, I need to say before you go, your findings are very important, and I'm really very proud of you.
Thank you.
Dear Margie,
Dear Mr. Shaw,
I'd like to say that I wish I could send you an image of this sky tonight, but I hope we never make pictures that perfect. That would miss the point.
which is what, I think, staring out at sea.
I used to think that to be truly alive, I needed answers. I needed to know. But all this does not, in fact, need to be known, does it? We do.
We do.
Because the real point is seeing something greater and knowing we're just a small part of it, if we're lucky. In the end, that is a life well lived.
Please tell Miss Cannon that when I return, I have work to do.
Because thank God there's a lot out there bigger than me. See you soon, Henrietta. Margie, I missed you so much. Welcome to Boston.
same to you. Welcome back. Now tell me everything.
Well, Paris was just as perfect as you'd like to think, and London was just,
Henry,
I'm fine.
you're not fine. What is this?
It's nothing. It passes.
It's not nothing. You should have come home immediately.
There were only a few bad days.
Henrietta, they've invented doctors.
I saw one in London.
And you're seeing another one right now.
Margie, no.
The luggage can wait.
I'm going straight to Harvard.
No, you're not. You're coming home with me to Wisconsin and you're resting.
But I have to work. I want to work.
I don't care. There's time for all of that.
There's not.
Henrietta! Look, there she is!
There she is, Henrietta.
I said. There she is. Oh, Henrietta.
What are you doing here?
What are we doing here? Your sister told us you were finally coming back.
And you have to save us from each other.
You really do. Now we have a mountain of work to get through.
Hello, you. I'm Wilhelmina.
I'm Margaret. Hello.
Oh, this is my sister Margie. I thought you'd met.
Oh, no, not yet. But I've heard so much about both of you. Okay.
You're the sister. We've heard of you.
Hi.
Annie, you're scaring the poor girl.
Unfortunately, common.
Henrietta tells us you have a son.
I do. As tall as his father and twice the charmer.
Oh, dear.
Let's just say I do not fear a lack of grandchildren.
Send him to me. I'll straighten him out.
All right, ladies. The early grafts from Princeton are in, and we need your eyes on them.
I can do that.
Henry, wait. Actually, she was just telling me she's been a bit poorly.
No, I'm fine, and I'm really looking forward to being back.
You're sick.
No,
Yes. In fact, she nearly fainted just now, and I really must insist that
I'm
she come.
insisting, Margie. My life, my work, and every chance I've ever had is here.
Then so am I. You can't get rid of me.
Well, me neither. Get over here.
And you can work from home whenever you like, so there's not a single reason why we can't all go about our business as usual.
Thank you, lunatic women.
Oh, Henry, we got you.
I'll get the bags.
I've got you, Henry. We're right here.
Excuse me, Miss Cannon.
Not today, Mr. Shaw.
I heard about Henrietta, Miss Levitt. She's sick. How sick? How is she?
Well, she's making do, working from home just down the street. I think you know nothing will keep her down for long.
Nothing shy of an earthquake.
That sounds about right.
If you could see that she gets this. I took the liberty of inquiring of a family physician. He said he'd be happy to see her. I know she wouldn't ask for something like this, but if you could have her accept his services as a favor to me.
I will. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. That's very... Thank you.
The census arrived today. I started to fill it out, but I didn't know what to put for your occupation.
Astronomer is my occupation.
All right.
Astronomer.
With a capital A. How are we doing today?
You know the worst part of this? Sitting still.
For you, I'm sure it is. How's the pain?
It's not bad today.
But relaxing bothers you?
You can't order someone to relax and have it be relaxing.
How about reading some news?
Oh, I can't take any more war news. Did they send another astronomy circular?
You would think a world war would make the stars seem trivial.
You would think stars would make war seem trivial. I have never felt so helpless.
You're not helpless.
I write letters and no one answers. And these colleagues, these all men, using my work, but they won't let me near it. Useless, helpless.
You're getting upset.
Life is about getting appropriately upset. And all I want to know is what is true? And what else is true? And how long is that list? And I know I won't know. And what does all the knowing of the not knowing do to a sane person? And what does all that mean?
Well, it could mean that we're all alone and we're all helpless. And because you can't connect everything, that nothing's connected. Or it could mean that you might not know how you might matter to people in the future or how you might matter now, but you're already connected and you will already matter because what we do outlasts us. Am I helping or hurting?
I can't tell. But thank you. And I want to explain.
Oh, you've tried explaining that. I am just too thick.
Not stars, something like souls.
Henry.
I don't want you to think I don't believe in anything. I do, just a different kind of faith in grand observation.
Which is comforting?
Which is nimble, and that's comforting. My heaven is a cosmos, deep in a gorgeous void.
A void?
Full darkness.
Not all darkness.
Modeled with immaculate combustion.
But the stars are...
Hot gas and a lonely...
Not lonely.
Broad, airless...
Don't say airless.
Deep, vast...
Stop it! Just stop it, all right? I know we don't speak plainly about this, but where does my heaven go?
Maybe it doesn't.
Henry!
Oh, I'm going first. I'll tell you who was right.
You do not get to say that. Not to me.
I've made my peace with that part.
Well, I haven't. What other part is there?
The part of meaning something.
You mean everything to me.
But you have your babies, your music. You like church.
You can't compare us.
You have a life.
And you have a legacy.
Work I can't finish.
That's what a legacy is. Listen, the way I see it, and this just may be the way I see it, you asked God a question, and he answered. That's the meaning of meaning for most of us. Now relax before I drug you. How about some mail?
Fine.
And messengers.
Oh, Margaret, dear. Thank you so much for keeping our Henry so comfortable and close by. To have her just blocks away with all those new girls with their temperaments and their outfits. You would not believe their shoes.
Probably not.
How are you feeling today, darling?
Fine. Bored. Angry.
Not for long, you're not.
All right, you ladies chat. I'm going to go get dinner on the table. You'll both stay. I insist.
Wait, you want to hear this?
We have news.
Great news.
What news, Annie? Tell me.
Head of stellar photometry. It's yours. Pickering sent me to make the offer.
Oh, my goodness.
Henry.
And a raise.
Of a quarter?
But head of stellar photometry, that's your job.
Now I'm head curator. Everyone's moving up.
Like mighty oaks.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
This is a great honor, Henrietta.
Oh, like magma from the depths of men's minds. A nice, hot compliment erupts.
A change in the system is what it is. A model for
Lord.
the future. And if we use things like this and take a real stand,
She's about to give you a pamphlet.
we can make a larger difference.
What's all this?
We need a vote, girls. It's about equality, and it's about time.
I know all the slogans.
Oh, I don't really think.
If we can organize the sky, we can organize our minds to choose our own future.
She heard a speech a year ago and...
Is this a democracy or not?
No, she's a patriot.
A true patriot. Yes, I am. Does it say we the people or doesn't it?
It does.
It does. And we're marching to D.C. next month, and you should join us. Both of you.
I'll read the pamphlet.
It's a great pamphlet.
Glazed ham for dinner. I'm gonna go get it ready.
Thank you, Margie.
I'll come get in the way.
So, we have new computers. You should come by the office.
Trust me, how much I wish I could.
What can I do?
I need more work. Anyone's, whoever's working on this. I keep up with all the circulars. I write letters to anyone I can think of. If I can't do the work myself, I need to see what they're seeing. Even the tiniest pinch of information. I'm okay with it being tiny. I just need to know.
Of course you do. Of course. I'll have some girls take time and investigate.
All I have is time, and all I haven't is time.
Time is persistent.
Yes.
But light, its speed, is a constant. One of the few in the universe. Just so you know, I choose to measure you in light.
Annie, Ham needs your help.
What on earth?
Miss Levitt, hello.
Mr. Shaw.
I'm here. I know. It's odd, but I had to see you.
Why? What's going on?
There has been a finding, and I don't think I'm overstating things to say it changes everything. And you had to be the first to know.
Mr. Shaw, please tell me what's going on and why you're here, but be aware they're probably pressed ear to grain against that door.
Well, I wasn't exactly sure where you lived, so it starts with me following them.
He followed us. I will smack his little...
But that's not important. What was important is this morning you received, well, actually I received, because it all comes to my office nowadays.
What comes?
Well, correspondences from colleagues to you.
To me?
Well, I'd assumed they'd been copied.
They weren't. I live blocks away. I've been trying to find out what's going on for ages.
I'm sorry.
Ages.
The important thing is that this morning, the Hertzsprung, the Danish...
Big beard?
Right. Well, he used your data to measure the distance to those Cepheids.
My Cepheids?
The small Magellanic Cloud, yes.
He calibrated the actual distance to my Cepheids?
This is the first evidence we have of anything outside of our galaxy.
Which means there are things outside our galaxy.
Yes. Proof. The universe really is vast.
How did he do it?
Well, he used statistical parallax as a 0 point against the sun and then plugged in your data for the slope, and there you have it.
That just makes it sound so easy.
I know. But your work made the leap. Without your work, it wasn't possible, and now we have a standard. For the rest of time, we have a standard. Oh, and another fellow keeps writing you, Hudgens.
Hudgens. Hubble?
Hubble!
Peter, how far away are my stars?
Thousands of light years.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
I knew it.
You did.
You were perfectly wrong.
I was. I am so proud to know you. Oh, and one of the girls found this under your desk. I thought you'd want it back.
This is the book my father sent me.
You never opened it?
Well, I was too busy, then too ashamed, I think. Huh. Collected poems.
Whitman.
My father sent me poems?
Well, this one's marked. When I heard the learned astronomer, when the proofs and figures were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and the diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I, sitting, heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon unaccountable I became tired and sick. Till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself in the mystical moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars.
So he's not a marauder then? Wilhelmina had me worried.
Margie, this is Mr. Peter Shaw.
The Peter Shaw.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You'll stay for dinner.
Oh no, I really shouldn't.
And yet you will. We have much to discuss, famous Mr. Shaw.
Margie is an excellent musician. Perhaps you and Annie could sing for us.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Margie knows musicals.
I really couldn't.
You're singing.
How nice.
I've learned just not to argue with women.
That is correct. Dinner's on the table. We'll be there in just a moment.
Oh, and you must tell Will and Annie immediately.
About what?
Oh, your sister just became the first person to measure the universe.
You knew about him?
I did.
You knew about him the whole time?
I did. That many letters?
Sisters are strange friends.
What did he just tell me?
It's true. I couldn't believe it.
Of course he couldn't.
Would you be nice to me?
Wilhelmina, Henrietta was right.
You were right. Look at this.
Oh, my goodness, look at this.
That's what I said. She was right. Everyone should be looking at this.
Henrietta,
I know.
this is just,
It's everything.
it is everything.
How do you celebrate measuring a universe?
I have no idea.
I have cookies.
That's brilliant. All right, come on. Now we're celebrating.
We're already celebrating.
Not enough, and you deserve it, Henrietta.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Do what right now?
What are we doing?
You're coming too.
Me? What? Wait.
I can't go anywhere.
She's really not supposed to.
But you have to.
Henrietta, you deserve this.
It doesn't matter if I can't.
It's not that far.
Just a few blocks.
Just up the hill.
Oh, it's freezing, and I cannot go anywhere. So thank you, but let's just all sit down. We'll have a nice dinner, and then
Leave the ham. Get the car.
for a few blocks.
Now we're talking.
Margie,
Henry, relax.
just up the hill, a few blocks away, across the courtyard from my old desk, where it stood, off limits, I see the great refractor telescope, to which we happily break in that night. And I, taking Margie's hand, hold my breath, lean close and see my heaven. A few moments later, I gather myself, sneak outside, and look up in perfect silence, and I know that distance is only space and time, and for some of us, light. I am out of time, but light has never let me down, and so I shift. The next year, Annie gets a vote. Then, a man named Hubble uses my work to prove that our most unique galaxy is, in fact, one of billions upon billions. Then, a man from Sweden calls, wondering if I might like a Nobel Prize. It's too late for me, but I take the compliment. Another few years and Will dies in Boston. Annie by her side. Another year and another war takes over the world, and then Annie dies. Then Peter. Then my sister, kissed by 12 grandchildren, a symphony on the radio. orbit the Earth, then we stand on the moon. Then, a telescope named Hubble with wings set for space shows us all how vast and beautiful it all is. Because wonder will always get us there. For those of us who insist that there is so much more out there beyond ourselves, and I do, and there's a reason we measure it all in light.
Shining through the rain, 1,000 colors in a brighter shade. Needed to rise from the lowest place.
Oh, thank you, guys. It's so
the lion that surrounds the grave.